We're good? Yeah? Okay. I hate using the gavel, but we're going to get started because we got a lot of kids here and they don't want to sit around with us boring adults tonight, so we're going to get on with it. So good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Caldwell-West Caldwell Board of Education meeting today, Monday, March 20th, 2023. The board met in private executive session this evening beginning at 5:00 p.m. in the superintendent's office located at 104 Gray Street, West Caldwell, New Jersey. The purpose of that meeting was to discuss personnel, litigation, miscellaneous, and old business matters. That meeting was advertised and is in compliance with the Open Public Meeting Act and NJSA 10:4-6, also known as the Sunshine Law. The matters discussed will be made public when confidentiality is no longer required, and formal action pursuant to said discussion shall take place only at a meeting to which the public has been invited. This evening, the Board of Education public meeting is happening now at approximately 7:04 p.m. here at the Harrison School. This meeting is in compliance with the Open Public Meetings Act and NJSA 10:4-6, also known as the Sunshine Law. Notices have been sent to The Progress, Caldwell, New Jersey, the Star Ledger, Newark, New Jersey, and Tap Into, West Essex. Notices have also been posted at the Board of Education Business Office, Harrison School Building, 104 Gray Street in West Caldwell, New Jersey, and have been delivered to the clerks in the Borough of Caldwell and the Township of West Caldwell for posting. All community questions and comments will be welcomed here in person this evening at the Harrison School. Okay, if everyone could please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good job. I was practicing.
I know.
Brian, I always skip to the pledge, but can you please take the roll?
Yes. Student Representative Claire Kiernan. Ms. DiMartini.
Here.
Mr. Elko.
Here.
Ms. Mack.
Here.
Mr. Diambola. Ms. Grosso.
Here.
So we have 4 voting members present, 1 absent. We have a quorum.
Brian, are there any communications for the board this evening?
None.
Okay, then we're going to turn it over to Dr. Conklin for the superintendent's report.
Thank you so much. We have a couple of special visitors with us tonight from Rydell High School. I'd like to ask Mr. Vince Fontaine and Miss Lynch to go up to the microphone and tell us about the play. Right up there.
Hey, it's the main brain, Vince Fontaine, spinning the stacks of wax here at the House of Wax, WAXX. Cruising time, 9:05, which means it's time for me to remind you that James Caldwell High School is presenting the musical Grease this weekend, March 24th through 26th, in their beautiful Center for Performing Arts. Come down and bop to the sound with popular favorites such as Summer Nights, We Go Together, Hopelessly Devoted to You, and of course, Grease Lightning. Show times are Friday at 7:30, Saturday at 2 and 7:30, and Sunday at 2 o'clock. Tickets are $10 and can be purchased at showtixforyou.com. Just type in CWC into their search bar or go to the music website at cwcboe.org. And be sure to check out the pre-show sock hop on Sunday, March 26th at 12:30 in the JCHS cafeteria. Here to tell us more about this super shindig is Rydell High School's favorite English teacher, Miss Lynch.
On Sunday, March 26th at 12:30, we will have our annual sock hop in the cafeteria. Come learn to hand jive and rock your socks off with the cast. $5 per child. Tickets can be bought at the door in advance or in advance. All proceeds will go to the Music and More Booster Club. You won't want to miss out. Thank you.
We have a couple of other special guests tonight. If Coach Greg, I think I saw Coach Greg around, you could just come up to the microphone and introduce the players. We have some guests from our hockey team.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Mark Gregory. I'm the head coach at West Essex Caldwell Ice Hockey. Thanks for inviting me tonight. I appreciate that. We did have some players that attend James Caldwell that were given all league honors. So I'd like to have them come up here. Clay Pryal was named first team all league. Joey Castellana was given honorable mention all league. And also not here tonight, Evan Zeminski was first team all league goaltender. That was also here. Thank you all, and congratulations to all the other athletes here tonight. Thanks again for having us.
Thanks, Coach.
I just want to thank Coach Gregory for being here tonight. I was honored to have been invited to the hockey dinner, and that's where I met Coach Gregory, and he did a phenomenal job. It was very moving and touching to be a part of that, because usually I'm on the one side of the bleachers like screaming at West Essex. It was like amazing to be part of such a community partnership. And I actually joked with him. I said, "You're here on enemy territory tonight," but he's like, "It's not the enemy," and you're absolutely right. It's not the enemy. I will say that Coach Gregory was so appreciative, and I just want to shout out to our bus drivers and our transportation department, especially Miss Marie Sensal, who coordinates all those buses. They said, "Thank you to the Caldwell-West Caldwell Board of Education. The bus drivers are polite, they're on time, and they're the reason why we got where we got," and I just wanted to shout that out. And again, I just want to thank you so much for coaching our kids, welcoming us to your team, and we're one team, and this is really what one of the players, I forget who it was, but I wrote it down. He said, "Being a part of this co-op is what sports is all about," and it really truly is. I was moved, and I'm so glad you guys were able to be here tonight, so thank you so much. Let's give them a round of applause.
And last but certainly not least, I'd like to invite Mr. Devlin up to the microphone to introduce our coaches and our championship basketball team.
Thank you, Dr. Conklin and the members of the Board of Education for taking the time to celebrate the success of our boys basketball team, but also for supporting all of our extracurricular activities. Athletic Director Romano can't be here tonight, so on behalf of Dan and the entire faculty and administration, I want to congratulate the coaches and players of our boys basketball team. In addition to their historic accomplishment of winning our first boys basketball state sectional championship, because in 1931 it was awarded to us, and going to the state finals for the first time in our history, you were just fun to watch. As individuals, you are outstanding athletes, but as a team, you were magical. To make it to the state sectional championship 2 years in a row is a feat in itself, but to fall short last year and to come back and win it with many of the same players also shows your toughness and resilience. Above all else, everyone enjoys rooting for you because of your outstanding character, on and off the court. In the halls of our school, you are positive role models, and for that, we thank your parents. We also thank your coaches for holding you to a high standards and for their dedication, expertise, and care. I also want to highlight that this historic season also saw Coach Fess earn his 400th win. Congratulations, Coach. Before I turn things over to Coach Fess, I also want to thank the cheerleaders and their coaches for their dedication. During the winter, they cheer for boys and girls basketball, as well as wrestling, which makes for many long winter nights. Finally, I have to thank our student fans for remaining enthusiastic and supportive throughout the season. But most of all, guys, tonight's for you guys. Congratulations on a fantastic season. Thank you, guys.
All right, thank you, Mr. Devlin. Appreciate that, and thanks to the board for having us here tonight. It's great to be here, and it's, you know, obviously we're here for a real good reason, so we're excited about that. If I could start by introducing everybody, you guys can come up and stand up here. Okay, I'll start with Nick Swank. Come on up, Nick. This is a junior for us. Ryan O'Donnell, one of our junior players. Lance Jenkins, come on up, Lance. Mikey Zamloot. There's Dan Paris. Our sophomore guys hiding in the back. There's Joe Giannetta, come on up, Joe. Marco Sozio, come on up, Marco. And Brody Cook. And our senior class, I start with Nick Perillo, Aiden Scanelli, Rocco Chiquetto, Ray Zamloot, Lorenzo Sozio, Luke Kurzum, and Ryan Lawrence. Just to kind of reiterate, and a lot of this is redundant, it's good redundant in that we're just honoring these kids for just a historic season, for 2 seasons, and kind of like the curse of the Bambino. It seemed like over the years, those of us who've been around the Caldwell basketball program, you know, teams would come in, they'd look up at our banner and they started chanting 1931, and we had to take it down, and these guys, you know, we have a new one to put up, so we can, you know, we can kind of point to that. Truly a team effort from all of these guys. And if I could real quick notice our seniors, we had some honors for all conference. Our first team all conference players were Ray Zamloot and Rocco Chiquetto. Second team all conference was Lorenzo Sozio. And honorable mention was Mike Zamloot and Ryan Lawrence. Now, again, that's from coaches who voted in the conference. And again, if you're asking me, each and every one of these players, from the kids who played a lot of minutes to the kids who played a few minutes and were practice players, just each contributed in their own way, and I thought that was such a great contribution by them all, and they should all be noticed and just applauded for that. So good job, all you guys. And just a real quick, just calling it a team effort, and it just everybody up here, it was a team effort. Our coaches, I have, of course, A-Rod. He needs one name, A-Rod. He's got like 4 jobs. He's a full-time student. He works all over town. You might see him working, and he's just constantly busy. But he made enough time to be a part of our program. Did a lot of the technology that baffles me, but he handled a lot of that. So A-Rod did a super job. Next, the new addition to our staff this year, Rob Patoy, has been on the football staff for years. And we're very happy to have him along. Mike Brown, of course, has been with me since the beginning for 8 years. Good job by Mike. Our freshman coach was Ricky Page, who did a super job with our freshmen this year. And of course, our JV coach and assistant varsity is Ryan Kelly. And just a note, our younger levels, our JV team was 21-1. Just a super year. The only loss was to Seton Hall this year, and we're excited about them coming up. We lose a lot of seniors, but we're going to throw them to the fire a little bit and mix them with our older guys, but it should be fun. Our freshmen also were 15-8. Just wanted to recognize them. They had a super year with a really tough schedule. Just to add, as a team effort from everybody, we had our scorekeepers, Vanessa and Caroline, were there every game to wherever we traveled. They were there and just did a super job for us. Some of the JV kids who filmed and spent a lot of time either coming, if they didn't have games, they would come and film for us, was really important for us. Cheerleaders, of course, the kids who came to the games, the community, the support we had, like you couldn't get into this, into the gym. When we had playoff games, it was people calling my house and you know, letting us know we want to get tickets, where do I get them? Said, you know, 2 days before, 3 days before, you can't get tickets for it. The community support has been outstanding. The administration has been great. The teachers have been great. Proud to say we have real good kids and good students, and we tip our hats to the faculty as well. The board, of course, for your support, and our trainer was outstanding again. Just the entire Caldwell-West Caldwell community was just a great experience for me personally, and I've been coaching a long time. I know our coaches enjoy it, and I hope that our kids enjoy that. They'll be forever linked to you know, this moment, and they'll have something to share, you know, for a long, long time. And of course, our parents have been great. They travel well, they travel loud, they travel far. They come to every game, been very supportive, and just like to thank them as well. Thank you, Kelly. And once again, thank you to the board for having us tonight, and we appreciate it. Congratulations to our other athletes, and thanks again.
I think we should all, before we stop and take a break and take pictures, can we all just stand up? These boys, I'm going to tell you, I'm going to miss watching you. I never really was a huge basketball fan until I started to watch these kids. And Coach Fest, it starts at the top. Your humility, you taught them this teamwork. The best thing about watching these kids play, in my humble opinion, was they played for the love of the game, they played for the love of each other, and I gotta tell you, you make it great to be a Chief. So congratulations, let's stand up and give them a big round of applause. Take a picture and then we'll take a quick break, okay? Let's take a picture. Okay, so Dr. Conklin, I think we have one more part of your superintendent's report to go over this evening.
Yes, I just wanted to let the community know that you'll be hearing from your elementary principals in the next few weeks. We have partnered with the Secret Service to do online safety presentations for kindergarten through 5th grade, and they'll also be doing a parent presentation. We haven't solidified all the dates yet, but you'll be hearing that from your individual principals when they'll be coming in, and they'll be doing presentations again, one for kindergarten, one for 1st grade, 2nd grade, 3rd grade, 4th grade, and 5th grade. In addition to that, we're going to organize a parent training evening as well from the Secret Service.
Great.
And that concludes my presentation, my report. Sorry.
Great. For the president's report, I think we can all agree this is always a great time when we can have our kids here to highlight them. I just also want to reiterate a thank you to our cheerleaders. Again, like Mr. Devlin said, they cheered all winter long. And I have to tell you, I mean, you think they're impressive on the football field when they're like throwing each other up in the air? You got to see them on a basketball court. I mean, I hold my breath. They're top notch and they're really terrific. So just thank you to all of our cheerleaders. We're going to go over committee reports. We only have one this evening. It was actually an honor and a privilege that we had a shared services meeting, which happened on Tuesday, March 14th from about 5 o'clock to 5:45. Those in attendance representing the Board of Education were Dr. Conklin, Mr. McCarthy, our BA, myself, Mr. D'Angola, and Chris Marcel, our facility supervisor. From the Township of West Caldwell was Councilman Doctoroff, Councilman Walski, Nicole, poor Nicole, please forgive me if you're watching, Nicole, I'm going to butcher your last name. Nicole Balticki,
Yes.
Thank you, Brian, who is the Township Administrator for West Caldwell, and Councilman Hladek. For the Borough of Caldwell was Councilman Brown and Councilman Donalowitz. It was a very positive, productive meeting with the town councils. Really, Mr. Marcel, who runs our buildings and grounds here in town, did a lot of the talking, talked with them a lot about the shared service relationships we currently have. We just re-signed our lawn service agreement. Being Washington school parents, Terry and I can attest that a lot of common feedback we hear from Washington school families that live around Washington schools when they cut the grass, that they cut it when the kids are coming into school and there's grass clippings everywhere. Mr. Marcel reiterated that to the West Caldwell Town Council. They couldn't have been more open, more receptive to saying we're going to work on that, we're going to speak to the contractor. We talked about sharing locations of salt storage. We talked about technology, sharing of services as far as technology goes. The biggest thing really on our plates to speak to them about was the Harrison School, which I feel like we've been talking about for years since I've been on the board, which is for a while. So we have very positive updates that they provided for us, that the Harrison School field renovation project is very close, like right there being approved by the DEP, which is terrific. It's kind of been stuck there in limbo for about a year and a half or so. Once all those are complete, the timeline now is to have construction begin fall 2023 with the intended usage of the field spring 2024. We're really going to say fall 2024, and hopefully it'll be ready sooner. And West Caldwell is working intently themselves, and then hopefully with a little bit of help from Caldwell, to have funding to support the construction of bathrooms and a snack bar that's fully functional for grilling and serving hot food. So very, very productive. We've all agreed that we would love to meet more frequently. So we agreed to meet quarterly. So our next meeting will be on the books for sometime in June, and we'll report out again. But very, very grateful and thankful for the partnerships. I can say from looking at surrounding areas that not every Board of Education always has a very amicable relationship with the townships. We have to work with two, and we're grateful for both of their equal supports. So that's shared services. I need a motion for approval of minutes.
I'll make a motion to approve minutes.
Thank you, and do I have a second?
I'll second.
Okay, Brian, can you take the roll?
Yes. Ms. DiMartini,
Here.
Mr. Elko,
Yes.
Ms. Mack,
Yes.
Ms. Grosso,
Yes.
4-0, motion carried.
Okay, we'll move to public comments on agenda items only. Public participation shall be governed by the following. The participant must be recognized by the presiding officer and must preface comments by an announcement of their name and address. Statements are to be limited to 3 minutes duration and may only address items right now on the agenda. Participant may speak no more than once on the same topic until all others who wish to speak on that topic have been heard. All statements shall be directed to the presiding officer. Boards use the public comment period of the meeting as an opportunity to listen to citizen concerns, but not to debate issues or enter into a question and answer session or a cross-examination between the public and individual members. Be aware that not all issues brought before the board this evening will be resolved. Boards may respond to public comment by seeking additional information or by delegating the authority to investigate the issue to the superintendent or his designee. The presiding officer may interrupt, warn, and/or terminate a participant's comments if it exceeds the allotted time or is objectively obscene. Participants may be civilly liable for any obscene, defamatory, or slanderous statements made during public comment. Would anybody like to speak on any agenda items only at this point in time in the meeting? Yeah, go ahead, Liz.
Hi, Liz Hart, 149 Ravine Ave. I'm not sure if you're allowed to answer this question, but just because you just mentioned it about the shared services. So is the field, where does that cost lie? Does that lie with the Board of Ed, or does it lie with the town council? Or we're not allowed to?
It's a township project. It doesn't
Okay.
cost, it's costing us nothing.
Nothing.
Okay, so that's a West Caldwell Township project. Okay, all right, that was it. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem, Liz. Anybody else? Agenda items? Andrea.
Hi, I'm Andrea at 50 Park Ave. I just have a question about some of the things on the agenda. It seems like the link, is it possible to how is it possible to have the link on the paper agenda if you can't even click it? You know what I mean? Like I have to use it on my phone and it's so small. So, and if I have any questions, like at the time.
I don't understand.
So she's saying, Andrea, if I'm not saying it correctly, please correct me, okay? I think what Andrea's saying is like, the attachments are not printed out with the agenda for the public. It's like you'd have to view it beforehand. She's wondering if the attachments can be printed and attached to the agenda or kept separately on the table so that when people walk in and pick up an agenda, they could pick up attachments.
Some of them can, some of them can't.
Yes.
Some of them can be printed out. If you're asking for that ahead of, I would just ask, I don't want to waste a lot of paper, so if it's something you're interested in, I would ask that you send an email beforehand so we could have extra copies. I don't want to print out 25 copies and then throw them in the trash or recycling. So that's why we kind of went away from making the extra copies. But the personnel items cannot be shared until after the Board of Education votes on them because they're confidential. But all the other ones can be if you asked ahead of time. And I can make them for you individually.
Okay, one more question. Yeah, I understand. I understand you don't want to waste the paper also, but I just didn't know before, like if we can get it ahead of time. I know you were saying you can't share like your personal stuff, what on the agenda, which is that?
No, personnel.
Personnel, Andrea. So the things about the, right, the personnel, the staff, yep.
All the other links are all the other links should be live once the once the agenda is released at home. All the links should be live. The only ones that can't be live are the personnel because they can't be viewed until after the board votes on them. So they would be available after the board votes. Appointments, leaves, all those personnel items.
Oh, that. Okay. Yeah, yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
So Andrea, everything outside of personnel, right? Everything on the agenda outside of personnel could be given to you beforehand, and then you could view personnel once the meeting is over, the next day.
If you just email Mrs. Ryan, that would be helpful. so we can make sure they're available.
Okay, anybody else? Okay. Then we'll move on to we're going to be voting this evening, so curriculum and technology. Okay.
Upon recommendation of the superintendents of schools, motions to approve items A through I on this evening's agenda.
And can I have a second?
I'll second.
Brian, can you take the roll, please?
Yes. Ms. DiMartini?
Yes.
Mr. Elko?
Yes.
Ms. Mack?
Yes.
Ms. Grosso?
Yes.
4-0, motion carried.
Okay, moving on to January. Personnel, please.
Okay, upon recommendation of the superintendent of schools, motion to approve items A through I under the certificated and items A through D under the non-certificated on this evening's agenda.
Great, and can I have a second, please?
I'll second.
Brian, can you take the roll?
Yes. Ms. DiMartini?
Yes.
Mr. Elko?
Yes.
Ms. Mack?
Yes.
Ms. Grosso?
Yes.
4-0, motion carried.
Great. Finance, please.
Motion to approve items A through I under finance and item A under facilities.
And can I have a second, please?
I'll second.
Brian, can you take the roll?
Yes. Ms. DiMartini?
Yes.
Mr. Elko?
Yes.
Ms. Mack?
Yes.
Ms. Grosso?
Yes.
4-0, motion carried.
And finally, policy.
Upon the recommendation of the superintendents of schools, motion to approve item A.
And can I have a second?
I'll second.
And Brian, the roll.
Yes. Ms. DiMartini?
Yes.
Mr. Elko?
Yes.
Ms. Mack?
Yes.
Ms. Grosso?
Yes.
4-0, motion carried.
Okay, now we're going to move to public comment section on items off the agenda. So anything anyone wants to come up and speak to the board about this evening. Again, just to remind everyone that public participation shall be governed by the following: that the participant must be recognized by the presiding officer and must preface comments by an announcement of their name and address. Statements are to be limited to 3 minutes duration. The participant may speak no more than once on the same topic until all others who wish to speak on that topic have been heard. All statements shall be directed to the presiding officer. Again, boards use the public comment periods of the meeting as an opportunity to listen to citizen concerns, but not to debate issues or enter into question and answer sessions or cross-examinations between the public and individual members. Be aware that not all issues brought before the board this evening will be resolved. Boards may respond to the public comment by seeking additional information or by delegating the authority to investigate the issue to the superintendent or his designee. The presiding officer may interrupt, warn, and/or terminate a participant's comments if it exceeds the allotted time or is objectively obscene. Participants may be civilly liable for any obscene, defamatory, or slanderous statements made during public comment. Would anyone like to come up and speak about something off the agenda this evening? Go ahead, come
Hi, good evening, everyone. I'm Jennifer Cacci, 101 Fairfield Avenue, West Caldwell. Sorry.
Alyssa Rogers, 3 Longmeadow Lane, West Caldwell.
Hi, we're here tonight to introduce ourselves to the board. We are the current year's parent facilitators for the Caldwell-West Caldwell Special Ed Parent Advisory Group. We are a parent-run group, and we work in conjunction with Ms. Madera, the Director of Special Services, as a place for parents of children with either IEPs or 504s, or even those in the process of looking for services for their students, to come and discuss concerns, questions, share information with each other, things like that. We meet usually about once a month right here at Harrison School, and it's a really nice, we have different amounts that come every week. We know it's hard with everyone's schedules, but it's a really nice place for parents to communicate concerns that they're having, to feel connected to other parents who may have been through similar situations, to get information, share resources, things like that. So we wanted to introduce ourselves. We know some of you already, but just to put our name out there to the community. I also just wanted to share, we do have a few meetings coming up the rest of the school year. We are meeting on April 19th. All meetings are from 6 to 7 p.m. We go a little late sometimes if we are on a good topic. So April 19th, May 18th, and June 15th are the remaining for the school year. And we're also excited because we are in the process of organizing an inclusive resource fair. We have some flyers if anybody would like one tonight, or if the board would like to take a look. It's scheduled for Wednesday, May 10th. Also from 6 to 7 p.m. We're going to be holding it at the high school, James Caldwell High School, and we're inviting vendors from around the community, different agencies that offer services either educationally, recreationally, support services, things like that that might benefit children with and without disabilities. You know, we're trying to include everybody. We have several agencies that have already RSVP'd that they'll be joining and having a table to share services, and we are waiting to hear back from more. We also encourage if anybody has any agencies they know of or anybody they've worked with that they would like to share with the families of the district, you can email us. Our website is cwcfamilycpag@gmail.com. It's on the flyer also. I know it's a mouthful. But, you know, any questions, concerns, or any suggestions, we are open. It's the first time we're doing this, so we hope to have it be successful and have the community come out, meet some of the local businesses, get information about services, things like that. So, again, May 10th, we'll be having it. And we encourage anybody interested to come to one of the CPAG meetings, and we hope to see you at the high school on the 10th. Okay?
Thank you.
You could also find CPAG information on our website. There's a link to CPAG right on the CWCBOE website.
Yes, yep, and our names and our email address is linked on the district website as well, so they can get in touch with us that way. So if anybody, would you guys like a flyer? Could we hand one out?
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Sure, absolutely.
Yeah, and I would just like to say a couple things. You know, the first time I went to a CPAG event as a customer, not as a board member, and I know Danielle and Julianne both have also attended CPAG meetings as customers. It's a great area to go if you're a parent who has questions, because special education can be very daunting, especially if it's not an area that you're super well versed at. And it's a great opportunity to go and meet people who, some people are super well versed because they work in that industry, in that area. Some people have just been through the system long enough. I learned countless more through those other families than I did through any other source. So I'd say that much. I would encourage folks who do have children with IEPs or 504s to consider attending this. So go to the resources, go to the website. And specifically, I wanted to thank Jen and Alyssa, because this is obviously not a paid position. And it's tough, and you've got a job, and you've got your own children with IEPs, and you're doing great work here. So thank you both very much for everything you're doing.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you again, Jen and Alyssa. Does anyone else want to come up and speak about anything on or off the agenda? It's a quiet group tonight. It's good. Okay. Okay, then I'd like to make a motion right now, have someone make a motion right now to end public session and enter back into executive session in the superintendent's office at approximately 7:44 p.m.
I'll make a motion.
And can I have a second?
I'll second.
Brian, can you take the roll, please?
All in favor, aye?
Aye.
All against, no. Abstentions? Motion carried.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Just want to do one more shout out. Please buy tickets and go see Grease this weekend. Should be a lot of fun, okay?